Stream Elements is now live streaming. A Brennifer. Ahoy. Light_candle. Ahoy. ICKY24. Did I make it? Am I too late? Light_candle. Dang, just missed it. ICKY24. WHYYYYYYYYYYYYYYYYYYYY. Light_candle. Haha, I haven't started yet. ICKY24. LMAO. ICKY24. I didn't expect chatbot to say it like so. Light_candle. Restream can't even say it. Light_candle. Asterisk its own name correctly.
Hello, hello. Let me get some background music going. I think that's gonna be pretty good. Let's just see how that sound lines up. Seems pretty okay though. Welcome everybody. Happy Sunday. Hope y'all are doing well. Stream Elements refused to say my name or the title of the stream today.
ICKY24. Nice camisa. ICKY24. Shirt.
Yeah, it's pretty cozy. It's been like very warm out here recently, so figured something light would be good. I took Atticus out on a walk earlier today, and it was like way too hot for him. So he actually was like panting and not having a great time. I poured some water on him, and we turned around and came right back home, but he was not pleased with that whole situation, which is fair, because I can sweat and he cannot. That's really the main difference between him and me. I'm gonna open up my drink real quick. Okay. I've got a Sippin' Pretty, which is like a very tasty sour. And I've got a mission for stream today, so let me pull kind of everything up over here. I'll pull this over. I was messing around with some like text stuff a second ago. But here's what I'm trying to do. There are 3 characters in my favorite game called Hollow Knight that are the 3 dreamers, and they're represented typically using like their masks. But I just think they're neat, and so what I'm hoping to do is design coins that on one side have like the shape of their mask, and then on the other side will have like the phrase that's associated with each one, because all 3 of them end up like sacrificing themselves for the kingdom, and for their own purposes. So Monomon the teacher says, for diversity a seal. Lurien the watcher says, for king beloved. And Hera the beast says, for brood for child, or for fair bargain made. So they're neat characters. It's just such a fantastic game all around, so I'd highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't played it. And I was thinking about getting... Oh, I didn't realize there were different photos here, and this website is really weirdly designed. I was thinking about getting a tattoo that would be just the seal, the mask shape for Monomon the teacher. I'd probably get it like kind of right here on my arm, and pretty small, but I think that sounds like fun. Anyway, let's get into our design document here and just kind of do a quick mock-up. My hope is I can make something kind of generic with one pass, because all of the like, general shapes are the same here.
Tattoo. Cool.
Yeah, I don't have any yet, but it's what the cool kids are doing. So we'll have like our general coin shape here. And then I'll want the seal to be in the middle. So I've got to think about how to effectively make this kind of teardrop shape. What I'm thinking I might do is just a spline starting down here, working our way up and around. Let's see, we want it to be like perfectly circular up at the top. I think that's like pretty good for a first pass there. But I might tweak this. I might also want it to be like larger overall, so I can scale that up. But for now, let's take this, trim off this side. Let's mirror it, because we're going to get a better sense of just what this looks like once we mirror it. And I'm seeing a problem right away is that these are not tangent.
ICKY24. We've started watching Tournament of Kings again.
Oh, Ranking of Kings? You'll have to tell me how you're liking it. Because it is kind of a tough show to get into at first. I think this is pretty good. It's maybe almost a little too sharp, but I can tweak it a little bit. That'll be like just generally what one side of this thing looks like, and I can mess around with specifically putting each of the dreamers on this. So I can just... Let's duplicate it. So I've got a fresh copy there.
It's well done. Good writing and tones.
Yeah, I think so too. It's one of those shows that definitely like picks up kind of as it goes on, but it gets some good drama in there. So Monomon is gonna have these two kind of regular eyes, and then these little Engi eyebrows up top. It'd be nice to have just a totally
ICKY24.
flat view.
Where'd I get Tournament
Actually,
of
this
Kings
would be perfect.
from?
I don't know. That sounds like something from a video game.
ICKY24.
Probably.
Isn't that a mobile game?
Yeah, I'd believe that.
LOL.
Okay, so it looks like these eyes are just about like 1/4 of the way up the face, and then the little dots are kind of relative to that. So let's start with those eyes. I think an ellipse is going to be a good place to start. That's too far down, but I can adjust it as well.
ICKY24. That's a sour beer you said?
It is, yeah. I like sours. Let's see. That's probably
ICKY24. So does Fritz.
But it does kind of arc back down a little bit more that way. So it's almost like taking the shape and applying like eyeliner to it. And this is going to look real weird as I tinker around with it until we get to the point where we've got our final shape. But I think I want to go from one end of this curve ultimately up to the other, but kind of through a point like that. To get that kind of arc there. Let me also try, actually, because I'm thinking this was probably done more simply. What if we just put one kind of shallow curve up here, one deeper curve down here? That's already looking pretty good. And then we just create... What are you freaking out about? We create a tiny little fillet to these inside bits here. Yeah, sure, that's a fine amount. I think that's looking like a pretty good eye shape. We maybe want it to be even sharper. Let me get these up like side by side. Put that there, put this here. Okay, I can adjust this a little bit, but I think that honestly looks pretty good. And I'll get a better idea of where it goes once I've gone through and corrected some things and mirrored this as well.
ICKY24. Have you watched Netflix's show Beef yet?
I have not. What's that like? Is this what we're looking for here? I'd really like to get a better view of that, but it just seems kinda round. Oh yes, good. Okay, let me actually delete all of that, because I think I can get a better shape by having it be kind of off this way.
ICKY24. Very profound. Well, it can be. I think it's very different too. ICKY24. Also funny.
Ooh, that sounds good to me. Okay, let's just see if this is like a sensible sort of shape real quick. So I want to select just these pieces. Oh, and let me make this full screen again.
ICKY24. BRRRB.
Cool. So how's our ratio of like face to eyes looking here? I think these need to be larger, maybe. And of course they're going to be weird about letting me tweak that. That might actually be kind of okay. There are some other things I'm going to do to try and mess with this a little bit. But for now, let me go ahead and extrude some of this outward just to get a better idea of the shape we're looking at. That looks pretty good to me. I'll need to add some like curve to it.
It looks good. Thumbs up sign.
Thank you. So these parts I'll have go out just a little bit here. Oh, if I do just those first, it's gonna freak out at me. So really, I ought to do like this first. And then this and this. And let's put some numbers to this. I like a good 1/4 centimeter. It always feels kind of weird using like 1/4 centimeters because everything in metric is decimal. But I can make this just a little bit embossed. And then extrude these eye bits out. Yep, just like that. So that's kind of what like one side of this would look like. And I've got to think about like what types of details I want to add to this. Because it doesn't just have to be this one face. Is 0.1 gonna do it? Yeah, 0.1's gonna do it. If I want it to go all the way down to the edge, that's gonna be 0.15. So let's try that. That looks pretty okay there. One thing I was thinking is each of these streamers have like a seal for the achievement that has kind of this extra shape around it. And I think that could be fun. So I think that's maybe what I'm gonna go for. Let me see if I can find some like high resolution pictures of the achievements in Hollow Knight. What's everyone getting up to this weekend? Anything exciting? Okay, I'm seeing some stuff that's promising here. I'm looking at these just to get a sense for like the style of these achievements. It seems like this shape around the outside stays generally the same.
A Brennifer. My plans have become luring Ruth back inside.
Yeah, has there been any progress on that? It is spooky. Oh, and here's our boys specifically. Okay, let me pull this over. Now let's see if I can just get it onto the screen. Okay. So here's our boy. Here's what we're going for. There's not going to be a whole lot of like 3D to today's
Last saw her at 7 a.m.
3D
She's
design.
too skittish to get close to me though.
Oh. That's spooky. So let me create another sketch on top of this. I think that'll be a good place to go. So I want kind of an outline of this shape going outward. I actually want that in kind of 2 separate pieces because there's got to be some thickness to this. It'd be super cool if you connected down here at the bottom, but I can use a little movie magic there maybe, if it lets me actually select these points. So why are you having problems generating this? It doesn't like either of those pieces on their own. This it seems okay with now, and then suddenly it's not. Oh, because it wants those to be coincident. So I could just take this and delete it, and now it's happy. Let's make this a 0.25. And these I think I can just join at a specific point here. Just kind of pretend that it all worked out correctly. I'd like to set these to be tangent to each other, and these to be tangent, and these to be equal. Okay, now if I create another offset of all of these, it should behave, because these can flex better. Okay. So this is going to become kind of that ridge portion on the outside. Up here, there's going to be kind of a circular shape. A circle, one might say. That some things are going to have to come down and build off of. So we've got like this here. Let's measure this out, call it, sure, 2.25. And then create another circle here. This we'll say is 2.5 to give us the continuation of that shape. Then we're going to have something that joins two different offset pieces kind of here in the middle. This 0.25 difference is looking a lot larger than this 0.25 difference. Like if I measure from here to here, oh, I did some math in a goofy way. If this is 2.25, then this should really be 2.75 because it's measuring the diameter. Now those are the same. Okay. Then we need one more offset from the center. So this should really be 3.25. And we need one more offset of this going outward. Oh, nope. And this should be going outward also 2.25, or no, just 0.25. Because now these are almost touching here, so I can just kind of trim them a little bit here in the center. Let's say I want this line to be tangent to this, and I also want it to be tangent to this. And then I want the same for this line here. I want this to be tangent to this to be tangent to this. And so now they're like touching in the center there, but what I can do is trim these pieces away and say, actually, what I'd like to see here is a fillet at this point, and I'd also like to see one on the other side there. I might have to be a little bit crafty about that, but this is going to get us the shape that we want. Let's keep all of these to nice fractions. 0.0325. That's fine there. Now let me just mirror across the center line these three pieces. So we're getting the stuff that's like right above Monomon's head now. So I need to add some thickness to that, which is just gonna involve like, you know, I really should do everything on one side and then mirror it. Otherwise this is gonna get messy. So I've got this second kind of ring around. I've got this ring here. These are gonna be kind of pushed outward. And we also have the shapes kind of sweeping down the sides here. So I probably don't need all of these in the center. They are built off of each other. What I really need is one of these to be like significantly further out here. Sure, we'll call it 1.5. And it's okay that it's outside. In fact, it's good that it's outside. And then we're going to make another of these. Out here, another little bit, so 0.25. And like really, this is going to make a lot more sense once we start trimming things away. but we've got some things that are going to kind of sweep down through here to the edge. Let's call this just 3.5. Oh, actually, here, let's delete that measurement. I'll want this to be something kind of specific, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So here's the deal. I have these two 0.25 away from each other. What I want to do is say these 2 points should also be exactly 0.25 away from each other. That'll make them like parallel all the way down. And then I want to say that the distance between these 2 points should be exactly 0.25. That'll line them up. This needs to be tangent to this, and that makes both of them tangent. Okay, so that's one of my little sweepy dudes. I'm gonna need another set of 4 sweepy dudes down here. But same deal. These don't have to sweep off quite as cleanly. They're just going kind of straight out almost. Can I say I want these to be... Yeah, if I say they're coincident, then they will conform really nicely to each other. And I'll say I want these to be 0.25. And then the same deal with just another couple of lines here. So, same deal, I want to say you are coincident with this, you are coincident with this, and then the distance here needs to be 0.25. The distance here needs to be 0.25. Now all of those are lined up nicely. The tricky thing here is going to be keeping track of what is empty space and what is not. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. There's going to be like a little circle thing down here. Pretty much in the center of that. We're looking for the same thickness, so if I say that this is just straight up 1, then maybe I want a... Well, if it's the same
Jordan Prime
thickness
4.
all around.
Helloing.
Helloing to you too, Jordan. I'm glad you made it to work safe. So that is probably fine. Let's see what this looks like if instead of having this be the smaller one, I have this actually be 1.5. I think I like that better. And then there's going to be a little circle in the center here, about yay big. So let's start trimming away some of the stuff that I know I'm not going to need. Oh, and I do need some lines coming down here as well. Let's just go straight down with that. Put another line out here. And I'm going to say these lines should be exactly 0.25 away. And there should be another, maybe like ellipse shaped thing down here. That kind of keeps things in check. Okay, so I'm trimming away internal lines on the things that I want to fully craft. So like this, for example, is all going to be one solid piece. So I can get rid of all of the excess internals. Then it goes up to here. Well, I guess the way I set these up, it really should go up to here. So I put most of my details along this line. So this goes up. Oh no. What just happened there? What happens if I trim this away? Everything freaks out and can't be solved. Okay, so I might have to just keep those separate. What happens if I trim these away? It really doesn't like that either. So any of these things that are offsets of one another, it doesn't like, as long as I keep that offset constraint. So if I get rid of that offset constraint, nope, didn't want to delete you entirely, just wanted to delete that detail there. Okay, now if I trim some of these away, okay, it's content with that. So these lines are going to come down through here and intersect. Do we have a line continuing out through the other side? Not really. Okay, so that's good there. That connects up there and through. These will connect. Although these actually shouldn't connect through the middle. So I actually want a line just about there and a line just about there to keep the divide. So far this is looking pretty good. It's looking like just about the shape that I want it to be. This connects through over here. Well, that goes upward. I could put another thing kind of branching off this way. We'll see like how busy this looks once I'm done with it. This is going to go up into this circle here. And then all of that is continuous so far. Maybe I'll have this connect as well. Let's make one more circle here. This one I want to be 1.75. And this one I'll allow to connect. So now everything on this side should be good. I guess this side from the camera's perspective here. So I should just take that and kind of mirror it, because I don't want to do all of that work again on the other side. Let me get rid of any extraneous details on this other side so that I'm just left with the things that I mirror. It'll help me to keep track of just what all is going on here. I kind of decided I didn't need that line at all. Okay, and those I'll keep the same. So now, let's go about mirroring. About this center line here. You get mirrored, and you get mirrored, and you get mirrored. It's kind of neat to see these things like just connect and appear on the other side. Okay, I've got both of those. I'm just really focusing on keeping track of what I have and have not mirrored. Okay, now I can trim that out. Trim this stuff out. Oh, I forgot like a whole thing to mirror. So these areas up here are looking not busy enough yet, but let's go ahead and just as a proof of concept, I think I had most of this set to like a 0.15 or something. That's looking pretty cool, I think, for kind of like a coin type thing. Let's also extrude these out. 0.15. So I do want to do something up here, maybe? Maybe like another couple of orbs. Yeah, let's do that. Can never have too many orb. So what shape? So those were 1.5. Think about it. 1. And then 0.5. And then I just trim out. Oh, actually. It's really thinking about some of these things that I'm asking it to do. And I'm just working on one sketch here. Like, it doesn't have that much to complain about. So let's go ahead and mirror that on over. And I'll trim away the extra bits here too. Okay, let's see about that. I think that's looking pretty snazzy. Let's see, I accidentally ended up with both of those bits selected that time. I think that's pretty sharp. And the nice thing is, now that I've got all of this, I mean, all of these details on the face here are the only thing that makes like Monomon and Lurian and Hera different. In fact, it looks like the logos around them, or like the symbols around them, are the same. So we're in a pretty good spot all around there. Okay. So let me duplicate this, just so we've got another document with all of the details on that side of the coin. And the only thing we really want on the back is...
A Brennifer. That looks cool.
Thank you. On the back we want the quote from Monomon. This is goofy. Just a little Monomon standing there. So Monomon, I think, says, "For diversity, a seal." Yeah. And I could add more here, so we'll see like what this looks like. And I don't have a ton of experience adding text to sketches. I've done some of it here and there. This was just 10. This was 9.5. So we'll keep that consistent. Okay, what is this going to look like? It's not going to show me until I do something with it. Also, I was looking into maybe trying to get the Hollow Knight font uploaded into this, but there's actually kind of a tricky thing going on here. I can't use just any font because it needs to be able to read that font as... Oh, that's large. Can I shrink you? It needs to be able to read that font as a specific type of file. What if I say you have to be 7.5 long? Okay, that's better. Is that like how it's written? For diversity, a seal? Can I edit this text again? Yeah. Let's get some of these other lines then. A world forever unchanging, better and end, I think are two good lines there. Can I... Copy sketch entities, paste sketch entities. I'd like to keep these things consistent if I can. Show up down here. Now let me edit the text on this. A world forever unchanging. Why am I copying things? Writing it down by hand when I could just... It'd be nice to be able to center that. I guess I can just do it like that. And then the third line. I think that kind of flows cohesively. So this is now larger than I'd like it to be. What if I said, actually these measurements here don't matter to me. I want to keep this top one that length, but actually for the rest of these, I'm going to say the height should be equal, because that will control the font size a lot better. This, let me get rid of that being coincident. Let me see. Do I have any other text options? I would love to be able to have the text like curve around versus just being straight there. But okay, that is now centered at least. Let me move this down a bit. It's nice being able to look over here at my stream because it's just a little bit smaller, so I'm getting kind of a better distanced look at this. Okay, let's see about... I'm gonna do this kind of the cheating way. It's gonna think about this for a good long while. But I'd like to, yeah, select this space. We're doing this with jazz. It's all about the spaces you don't put stuff. There's gotta be a better way. But this will work for us. Did I get this? Let's see if it... Yep, okay. Okay, I'm gonna let that think for a second, and then it should be totally correct. For diversity, a seal, a world forever unchanging, better, and end. Okay, that's looking great. Let me bring the sketch up again. Oh no. Just so I can extrude this outside piece. I think like, what, 0.3? How much of an edge? Well, I gave that quite a bit more. So okay, let's do, surely not 0.5. Yeah. 0.4? Yeah, that looks correct. Okay. So that would be the first coin here for Monomon, the teacher. What are we thinking?
A Brennifer. Nice.
I wonder, what does this look like without edges? Looks pretty okay. I mean, the text like washes out here. It looks like very grainy. Let's see about appearances. Make this kind of a gray coin. Yes, there we go. All of the the details that we love. I do kind of like the blue for Monomon. I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I'm really just making knickknacks here for my own sake, because I think they'd be fun to have. So, this is pretty good. Let's go ahead and, I know I copied some earlier versions of this. What's going on here? This copy doesn't seem very useful, but this was before I did anything on the backside. I think I'm going to duplicate this that we've got like totally done. And it's gonna have to think about it for a while. I'm going to do that because I can go into this first sketch here and use that to change the face, and I can go into the back sketches to change the back. But now we're looking at Lurien the Watcher. His face is going to be the easiest to make. Let me just...
CR1T1 Kalpha 1 Lure. That's some talent.
Oh, thank you, Critical. Good to see you here. How are you doing? How is Valheim going? Okay, all of this... Go. Leave. We still have all of the
CR1T1 Kalpha 1 Lure. Really good.
Nice, good to hear. Let's just get a midpoint there. Is it really symmetrical? Do we have any front-on views of Lorien? I guess this is probably the closest we've got. And it does seem to be just this. Okay, now think about that. Think about if you want to... Oh, good. This is what I wanted this to do. Totally. Extrude 3. Okay, this is where it's got all the missing faces. Okay, so if I just tell you this is actually what you're doing there, now everything should be very happy. Okay, everything worked out on the back. Everything worked out on the front. Have you, Critical, played a game called Hollow Knight? Because that is what all of this today is based off of. For King Beloved, to sleep, to serve, remain, or bonds must remain. So I think what I'm going to put there.
CR1T1 Kalpha 1 Lure.
Ooh.
I have not. What's it about?
It is about a kingdom of bugs. Like, all of the characters are bugs. And some bad stuff has happened
CR1T1 Kalpha 1 Lure.
Get into there.
Gross ha 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 ha.
They're like stylized bugs. Like, this is pretty much what the bugs look like. Like this little dude over here. So, could be grosser.
CR1T1 Kalpha 1 Lure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Not so bad.
For King Beloved, to sleep, to serve. And I can move that down now. Now I think I'm gonna do bonds must remain. Can I just move you up? Is that gonna be awkward? It's gonna be kind of awkward. Okay, let's go ahead and bonds must remain. And there's more that I could do here to make sure these things line up nicely. Oh, yep. Okay, let's fix this a little bit. Let's get rid of all the freaking out about missing stuff. I don't actually want the face of Sketch 1 here. Sketch 1 can hide. Okay, let me start off this thing from scratch. Or actually, here's a good option. Let's just extrude out the missing pieces. Okay, I see the issue. It's looking at one of these sketches behind that should not be visible. But yeah, this game has kind of the best combination of like art and music and story, lots of mystery that I've seen in any game. So it's absolutely one of my favorites. Okay, there we go. The perfect coin. Now let's put this down to
ICKY24. Achoo.
Gesundheit. Salud. Okay, is that lining up correctly? Yes, it looks like it. So, okay. For King Beloved, to sleep to serve, bonds must remain. We've got Lurien, the Watcher. Here we've got Monomon, the Teacher. For diversity, a seal, a world forever unchanging, better an end. And then all that leaves is Hera, the Beast. And Hera's face is going to be the toughest to work with here. Okay, and I'm thinking about which of these quotes I'm going to use. Let's go ahead and duplicate the Monomon doc. And I could rename these now just to keep track of them better.
CR1T1 Calpha 1 Lure. You've definitely got this. This is so freaking cool.
Well, thank you. I am an engineering teacher in my spare time. So this is actually the software I teach to my students. And I've had a couple of folks recently saying that they want to learn more about like how this works and how to do it.
CR1T1 Calpha 1 Lure. CR1T1C1 Crit Excite CR1T1C1 Crit
Nice.
Excite CR1T1C1 Crit Excite.
Gesundheit. Yeah, I've had some people suggesting that I make some more
CR1T1 Calpha 1
instructional
Lure.
stuff.
I broke your lady LOL.
Yeah, Restream is not great at talking a lot of the time. Okay, all of you go away. All of this go away. We just wait for Onshape to think about this a little bit. The program that I'm using here is called Onshape, and it is totally free and really good. Like, I enjoy it. When I went to engineering school and got my degree and all of that, had to use programs like Autodesk Inventor, which were just not great and significantly pricier. So I've got kind of one eye down here. The next eye is like up here. And then the third eye is smaller and kind of more central. like there. I think that's pretty much what we're working with. Let's make a line, because because I hid my planes here, it doesn't like mirroring across the planes. So I did that to myself. Okay, can I just select all of you? Okay. Now, be sure to freak out and break everything. Oh, you know what? You didn't break everything. I'm not sure what... Oh, that's part of the G. That's just sitting there as a totally separate piece. Okay, so we need to fix this extrusion.
Gigantier 56. Hello.
Hello, welcome Gigantor. So now will you behave? Maybe? Yes. This side is behaving. It's looking pretty okay as far as Hera's face goes, and I can always go back and tweak this without breaking much of anything else. This third extrusion I can get rid of, and I don't think that will break anything. And then we can change the text on the back.
CR1T1 Calpha 1 Lure. Emma head out. Gotta work tomorrow. Just wanted to pop in and say hi.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Have a good time at work. Have a good evening. Okay. I think rather than bound for brood for child, I'm just gonna have for brood for child here. I want a like Christmas card or like a birthday card.
Jordan Prime
says,
4.
For brood for child.
That's looking amazing so far.
Thank you, Jordan. Fair bargain made. Give all for her. So this I will pull back up a little bit because I'm going to make that 2 lines. Maybe I'll condense this down to 1 line. And I think I'm gonna change this to just be... Okay. Now, time to see how it messes up. Not too terribly. We do need to come in here with the sketch visible, please. Take your time. Okay, this D for whatever reason did work. I've got to kind of look at these at an angle here so I can tell where they're broken and where they're not. Like the bottom of this G worked. So I think when that happens, it's just pure coincidence that some letter that I did have there before that I had to click on lined up well. Okay, let's see if this looks correct. This A is missing its bit. Okay, that's looking good. The spacing on these should be better though. that looks a little bit better to me. Let's see if it continues to look better once I've got this fixed. Let's bring this up a tiny bit. But everything on this side is looking good. For brood, for child, fair bargain made, give all for her. We got the Lurian coin, for king beloved, to sleep to serve, bonds must remain. We've got Monomon, for diversity a seal, a world forever changing, better in end.
A Brennifer. Excellent.
Yeah. I am really pleased with how these turned out. Let's just get like all three of them in here. And the backs of all three seem like pretty consistent. The fonts are slightly different sizes. The fronts are looking good. Hera's face is a little goofy. But the others I think look pretty identifiable. It's nice. Yeah. I don't know if y'all were here at the beginning of stream when I was saying I want a tattoo of this. Just like this icon right here. I could put some of the fancy stuff around the outside, but I just like that. I like Monomon the teacher, and like what they stand for. I like the kind of impact that they have on the game as they kind of function through Quirrell.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I need to figure out like how tattoos work and how to exchange money for things and all that, but I think that's pretty fun. We're at like about the halfway point of stream because I started at a weird time today. What else should we work on? Any recommendations for things for me to design? As long as I can find like good reference images online, I'm happy to design things that I'm not even like totally familiar with. So what are we feeling? I could do some more Hollow Knight stuff.
A Brennifer. MMMM. Thinking.
Hello, Lemon.
Lemonkind. Hello.
Lemon, I think you'll enjoy this project that I was working on. I made 3 of these, one for each of the Dreamers, which has like their quotes on the back, and on the front has like their insignia. And I was using, you can see there in the corner, the
Lemonkind.
Achievements as reference.
I love it.
Yeah, I am quite pleased with how this turned out.
Lemonkind. I like Hera.
Yeah, the Hera looks a little goofy. Like, I think the eyes are not quite where they're supposed to be. We've got her quotes on the back. And Lemon, you're coming in at a perfect time, because I was just asking if there are other, like, Hollow Knight themed things that I could design here. So let me know if anything comes to mind for you. I'm looking at different charms, because all the charms have really cool designs.
Maybe the black egg?
The black egg could be fun. Unbreakable strength could be fun. I'm imagining what some of these would look like, 3-dimensional.
Lemonkind. I like Baldur's Shell too.
Yeah. Let's look at the black egg.
Lemonkind.
Would it be under points of interest?
What's your favorite charm?
Oh, my favorite charm. Let's think about it. Um, the most recent times I've played the game have been on Steel Soul mode, so Fragile Strength is really nice there because the faster you can kill things, the safer you are. The first time I played, I really enjoyed using Mark of Pride and Long Nail together, just to get like as much distance as possible. I like how unique Hive Blood is.
Lemon kind.
And it really saves you in
Nice.
some places. This is interesting that the achievement for acquiring your first charm seems to show a charm that's not in the game. Okay, let's see. So I think the black egg would be
I
a
like
point
deep
of interest.
focus a lot, but I also probably over-relied on healing.
Oh, I could do a soul totem as well. Here, let's look at the black egg. I could make like a whole scene here. I could do like the outside of the Black Egg Temple. Going inward.
Lemon
Let's
kind.
try that out.
That would be cool.
Let's see. So we'll create a part studio. One thing I want to see about is, I know I can offset planes. One thing I'd like to be able to do is create planes at different angles. But I think I can come up with a way to do that. So here, let me actually start out by creating something that I think is going to help me in the long run. So from this top plane, I'm just going to create an octagon.
Jordan Prime 4. What is the most complex thing you have designed?
Ooh, that's a good question. Off the top of my head, I don't know what the most complex thing is that I've designed. I think the Master Sword that I designed recently is up there. Like, that was pretty tricky. So here's my theory. I think if I set this up like so... Okay, I can offset a plane from some of these various angles on the octagon. So what happens if I now get rid of this extrusion? Okay, it also gets rid of the planes? That's a bummer. Can I just suppress this? Nope, that will also get rid of that. I mean, I could make this... Let me make this the base, so I'll have it go like down instead. And now those planes will work out fine. So I'm doing this Black Egg Temple. So we've got kind of generally a big curved shape here. I'm thinking about how I want to go about creating this, because it's kind of a face that we've got there, with some fronds going out the top, and some windows being carved out at different points. So maybe I should start out with just kind of a big dome. And I'm not too worried about getting the back sections of this perfectly.
Lemon kind. Can you change the reference image?
Yes, I can. Let me do that. Good thinking. Lemon, how are you doing? What are you up to? Here, let's make that a little smaller. I'm eventually gonna, like, clear everything that's on the base here. But let's actually create an offset plane here going up to the front of this shape. Sketch on plane 3 and just create the front door
Lemonkind.
like so.
Nothing much. A bit stressed about Ruthie and stressed about apartment stuff.
Yeah.
We ended up signing a lease though, all pets above board.
Oh, that's exciting. Was it the place that you were hoping for, or someplace different?
Lemonkind. It was the place we were hoping for.
Oh, nice. Very good. Can I just have this
Grizzly
go all the way
Jello.
through?
How's the designing going?
Welcome, Jello.
Lemonkind.
The designing is going
A
well.
bit small but still good and pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's... Well, we'll see. I think it's going to feel smaller once you've got 4 animals in there. But it'll be yours, and that's really nice. But Jello, this is what I've been designing. Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games. So I created
ICKY24.
coins to
Hey,
represent
have
a
you
bunch
watched
of them.
DR Stone as of yet?
I have not. It's, I mean, now that I'm on summer break, like, that and the other show you were recommending, which is escaping my mind right now, but I have on my phone, that's pretty much my plan for the week. So I created coins for each of these characters with some of their quotes on the back.
Hell's Paradise.
Yeah, that's the one. And tried to use kind of the same design that exists in the game. Now I'm trying my hand at some architecture, and it's definitely further outside my wheelhouse. We're just gonna have to see how it goes. Okay, looks like I can actually shell this out pretty successfully. It'd be nice to see... Here, let me actually, real quick, make this a little bit transparent.
Only 3 pets. Mom wants to keep Hanko because they have such a good relationship and this is his home.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's fair. Mr. Penko breadcrumbs.
Grizzly Jello. Oh nice, I love Hollow Knight.
Ooh.
Well, watching people play it anyways, fraily lol. ICKY24. Hollow Knight's artistic style is so hauntingly beautiful, kinda like the game Limbo.
Totally. Yeah, I could see the comparison there. Okay, let me, from this sketch plane, I would love to be able to set the camera to be normal to this plane, but I can't because it's a weird extra angle that I've added. There's probably some way to do it, I just don't know how. But here I'll create the next base. So this should be the origin, yes. Is this gonna look okay when I move it around? Sorta. These windows are larger than the door. So let's extend that up. Let's fix that back into place. I'd like to be able to move the whole thing over. We'll see if it lets me here in a second. But for now I can mirror this. Yeah, because that's going to be way too close to the door. I want some extra space. You know what, that might actually be kind of okay. Let's see just how this works before I put extra effort into making it less bad. Yeah, okay. Well, that is too close, it turns out. No one could have predicted this. There was no way to be able to tell. But that is too close. Can I take this plane 1, and move it? I mean, I can move it forward and back, but that's not going to do anything. So really I need to go into this sketch and just move this center point. Or maybe I can just copy sketch entities. Just take the whole thing and move it that way. Okay, now it's aligned in that position. Let's just get rid of all of the extra stuff. I really, you know, I know this is going to come as a shock, seeing how perfectly I pull this off. I really don't have a lot of experience using Onshape for like architectural purposes. That's pretty good though. That's looking kind of like the other doorway we want. And now that I've copied that entity, what I can do is create a sketch on plane 2 here, and I can paste that same entity.
ICKY24. Agreed, looking good.
Like I'm pleasantly surprised when I'm able to pull things like this off. Let's try moving this further this way. That's looking like it should just about align. Let's try it out. And what I can do is I can create this entity, toss it in, carve some stuff out with it, and then I can go back and tweak the sketch. Distance-wise, I think that's looking great. My only concern is that I had it a little bit too low.
ICKY24. Impressing oneself is always the most supreme feeling.
So those are kind of the eyes of this temple. I can put some object in here. I'd love to be able to make a light source to really sell the whole temple feeling.
Lemonkind. Pretty.
Thank you. That's kind of interesting, like how these have carved out and in towards the center. So the back is actually no longer symmetrical. So of course the next big feature is all of the antler sorts of dudes going around the outside. And here I'm going to do something kind of sneaky. So in the front, those antlers are like separated out to the sides. But if I just make an odd number of antlers from the back, I can like rotate the whole thing around and have them show up symmetrically and even appearing along the front. But easier said than done. Let's see what I can do here. I'm getting a lot of practice with this whole thing, creating offset planes. Oh, but actually I don't want a plane from that side at all. I want a plane sideways here. So I can create a sketch here off of this circle.
ICKY24. Have you given any thought to putting yourself somewhere hidden in your designs such as initials or like a one high this little guy?
That little guy is like the generic emote. But no, I haven't really hidden myself in my designs. I also haven't like made a lot of them public, which I could do. Like there are options to make that work in this software. So we've got some kind of antlerish friends. So yeah, I haven't thought about that before, like creating kind of a signature for myself. This is going to be very rough. I hope y'all are aware. But I think this is going to give me enough to go on to now extrude this outward symmetrically.
Lemonkind.
Not quite that much.
Your mediocre is my best probably LOL.
I mean, you also haven't like used this software before. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about it, Lemon, but I've had a couple of friends recently ask or like suggest that I make some more like educational design content, like talk about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and all that. So that's something I'm kind of tentatively interested in doing. Okay, that's looking pretty spiffy along the back. I would love to be able to do like the opposite along this side. And I'm wondering if I can just do like a shell kind of deal. What if I set all of these 0.01? Yeah, I mean I can shell it that much. What about 0.1? Okay, I can hollow it out a little bit that way. 0.05. Yeah, you know, that's actually looking pretty good for the back side of that. Now, I'd love to smooth out some of these corners. I'm not looking for much. Let's give a 0.05 to that. And the only reason I'm willing to put this much effort into this set of shapes is because anything that I do here, I won't have to do again. Like, I'll be able to make all of the rest of these antlers all in one go. 0.02? Is that better? I'm still unhappy about some of these. I think these smaller bits. What if I just say ignore those? Let's just go for these. 0.05. So this stuff up here is displeased. This down at the bottom, I can get to cooperate. It really is because of these awkward little internal bits. But that's fine. I think movie magic, that's gonna give the right kind of idea. So what I should be able to do is say that whole feature right there, I want to have as part of a, no, not a mirror. This feature should be in a circular pattern. And the axis, oh, I'll need to create like a line through the center here. Okay. So let's go back to this sketch. Just from the origin up. From the origin up. Create that. Now I can select this whole thing. Minus those two pieces, please. Just this whole thing. And I can say circular pattern. The axis being this. Oh, it's going to do that with everything right now. So here's what I need to do. This is just a new object. Let's get rid of some of these extraneous circular patterns. Circular pattern of part 2 about this axis. Let's make like, what, 7 of them? So now from the front we've got kind of the right number of these things. It's not, each one of them is not as thick as I'd like them to be. Will that change all of them effectively?
Lemon kind.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice.
I mean, that's looking better. It's still very rough. And really, these on the sides here should be like further out. They aren't like all circular around the same point. They're like spread out sideways because it's more helmet-like. But I mean, the thing I kind of try to do with some of these designs is just demonstrate that it can be done and leave the rest as an exercise for the reader. I think there might actually be a very fast way to improve this, though. If I just move that like so, I can have them kind of change their orientation. I would just love to have them a little bit lower down into this. What if I move this way? I mean, that's kind of cool looking. Gives sort of a neat effect. It's not quite the effect we're going for, but it is something. Let me try tweaking this just one more time, because I do like it slanted forward slightly.
I sent another thing you could model in the Discord.
Oh yeah?
Stream elements.
Okay.
Join Light Candle's Discord server. https://discord.gg/janesxwim.
The black egg itself. Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, let me try that, because the temple I'm not super pleased with. Let me really quickly, just for my due diligence, I'm just going to remove everything here. Give it kind of a base platform. I could put some like windows in here if I did something with an intersection, but I don't want to. So yeah, let's think about the black egg itself. Let me find a good reference image. Oh, actually, you know what? I kind of want to do the bench inside the black egg, because it's such a neat little spot. I wonder if we could maybe
good idea.
Find a better reference image. Because this is the bench I'm talking about. Okay, it's not gonna let me zoom in. Let me go ahead and save that. Oh, let me just do one of the regular benches, actually. I'm forgetting some of the classic design here, and I think the benches have a really nice design to them in general. Sorry I'm being indecisive about this. There are just so many cool things in this game. So that's my reference for the bench. And this, I fully expect to do like an actually good job with. There's gonna be some cool stuff that I can do with like intersecting patterns here. And we've got kind of a like side view of the bench, which is nice. So let's actually start with that side view, where we have the seat of the bench, kind of something like that. We've got the back of the bench, which initially curves in a little bit, comes up here, curves like up and back around. Make this a little bit longer. I'm eyeballing a lot of this, but that's because the stuff I expect to spend more time on here, I think is going to be worth that extra time. and, you know, movie magic, it's gonna look pretty okay by the time I'm done with it. So we've got all of that. The legs of the bench kind of meet this at a certain point, but they continue to curve downward further. So as long as that's on the inside, I'm going to use that as kind of my main jumping off point. I'll take that down to like here. And then from here, they curve inward slightly, not that much, before at the end curving back outward. Maybe not in a full arc there. Yeah, more like that. And I'm seeing that this kind of thickens a little bit at the top. So far the proportions are looking okay on that. Let's just mirror all of this along the back. I maybe want it to be a little bit more squat, or I can raise the back of this up higher. Okay, let's see what it looks like when I take this and extrude it sideways. Including the connective tissue. The bench is what, like about yay long? That seems reasonable. But the thing that really makes this bench is like that heart pattern on it. Let's actually, let's edit this, make it symmetrical. And then I actually want to do another extrusion, in this case removing, using only the top piece, and again symmetrical, just to give me the legs of the bench. Okay. So now, here is where we get to do something fancy. I'm going to create a pattern from this face to cut out from that front view, so that we actually get this like pretty kind of heart thing going on. So let's think about what this pattern looks like. On each of the edges here, let me make a nice little rectangle to kind of represent the whole thing. And we'll just go halfway. So on the edges, we've got just one piece of this heart pattern. And it repeats 3 times in the center as well. So probably what I want to do is actually start the heart pattern at the center, mirror it, and take care of the rest from there. So is this going to touch the middle? Kind of eventually. get these a little closer here. Through some of these pieces I get just dead quiet because I'm really focusing on trying to line these up properly, and it's not as simple as just making sure that these things are like perfectly aligned. In fact, if I do align them, it will work out worse for me. So that's like half of one of these heart things. How is that looking? Not great. I'm not super content with that. It needs to be kind of thicker all around. Yeah, see, now that I've aligned these, it's not actually allowing me to adjust in the way that I need to. I would love for that angle to be less harsh. One thing I could do is go through and tell all of these to be tangent to each other so that there are no harsh angles. Usually that breaks things, but in this case it kind of worked out. Okay, so that's part of it. I'd like to set this up so that it's like basically touching over here.
What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the utility closet?
I don't know, Icky. What did he say?
ICKY24. Supplies.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is a little goofy looking, but I think once I've got the whole pattern set up, it's gonna look better. Repetition produces legitimacy. So mirroring across here, let's just get all of this. Okay, so we've got all of that mirrored now. What I want to do is take this and let's do a linear pattern. Like so. Okay, I've got those. Now I need to set another set of these up on top of them in such a way that everything aligns nicely. Okay, those seem to just be barely touching there.
Brennifer. I was feeding the dog when that happened, but here's a belated eye roll at Icky. Smiley face.
Nice. Let's go back to this here. I would love to set up a pattern on these objects vertically.
ICKY24. I'll take what I can get, LUL.
Can I select this and edit the pattern? Here, let me just paste these sketch entities again. This is probably going to be the least messy way to get this done. Okay. Now, what I want to do is make sure that I've got these things actually touching at all of these different points. Because if I can do that, then I can just cut this pattern out and have a bench. So one more time. See, that's just about perfect. Those actually seem to be making contact. Yep. Okay. Because the goal is to be able to select some of these different shapes and just cut them out. Let me trim away all of these extra bits of square because they're not doing me any good. Especially not when it comes to trying to identify where these things actually overlap. I just want to make sure all of that is one cohesive thing. Because I'm going to be cutting out everything but this pattern on the bench. And the more I'm thinking about this, there might actually be a relatively simple approach I can take. First, let me take this whole thing here. Let me mirror it across this line. Okay, so we've got a pretty good thing set up. So here's what I'm thinking I can do. I think I can go from this bottom corner here up to this top corner. Oh, actually not quite all the way up to that corner because there needs to be a little bit of an offset. So here, let me line this up kind of precisely first. Come on, move over there. Okay, now let me actually figure out what I want that offset to be. It looks like 0.2 by 0.2 is going to be fine. So let's do that same thing up here. Oh, this is chugging along. It is trying so hard.
Offset? The guy married to Cardi B?
That's the one. Sometimes you gotta phone a friend when you're designing something. So now, all of this is enclosed, whether it wants to be or not. So I can say, I want to extrude and remove. All of these internal pieces. That's pretty good. It's a little goofy, because really along the top here what it should be doing is wrapping around, and instead what it's doing is it's like carved out. Let's make maybe this bench platform out of some actual like pieces. To do that, I'm just gonna make a really simple pattern to cut out. So we've got like this as the base of the bench. I just want some boards cut out of it. Maybe not all the way to the ends. So let's put that there. Let's put this here. Just eyeballing it, but that's going to be enough to now extrude. Can I just select the faces of this sketch? So I actually just want you to allow me to select the things that I made. Let's see. It's interesting the things that it's missing and the things that it's not, because the rest of this bench is in the way. Here, let's suppress that. And I'm going to say we're actually removing all three of these pieces symmetrically, not a ton, just enough to get through the bench. It's going to say, hey, you're not removing from anything, but when I unsuppress the bench, it reappears. We've got some platforms in it. So it's a little goofy, but I think that is pretty close to the reference. I could remove these things from the back here because that's giving me a little bit of vertigo looking at it.
Goofy yet spoofy. A Brennifer. I like it.
Goofy yet spoofy is kind of what we aspire for with the Light Candle brand. So let's take stock of what all we did during stream today.
ICKY24. That's the motto.
I created 3 separate coins, and these I'm like pretty proud of, and I think I'll print them out, that have the 3 different dreamers from Hollow Knight with their quotes on the back and some like kind of floaty symbols around them like you find on the achievements for the game. I did a little bit of messing around.
Yeah, the coins are wonderful.
Thank you. Did a little bit of messing around with trying to make the Black Egg Temple, and then I made a bench, which is, I think, a perfect place to end the stream because it's a checkpoint that you get to stop at and save your progress. Let me scoop up a tiny boy real quick, and I'll be right back. I will bring the boy so that we can say goodbye and good night.
A Brennifer. Lil Cactus. ICKY24. What's the name of the beer?
Oh, the beer is a Sippin' Pretty. It's pretty tasty. So, Atticus was asleep under the bed. So we've got a Daphne
A
cat
Brennifer.
instead.
That's not an Atticus boy.
This is a sweet wobbly baby. I love her very much. But she's here to wrap up stream
ICKY24.
with us.
Aw, so fuzzy. A Brennifer.
Yeah,
Sweet wobbly girl.
And you can cry about it just a little bit. Let me see real quick if any of my friends are live so we can go and raid them. Let's see who we've got here. Okay. I'm not seeing anyone online right now that I know like super well that I can recommend, and I don't want to throw y'all to somebody random, so I'm just gonna wrap up stream there. But I appreciate y'all being here and hanging out. I'm gonna post photos of all the things that we designed today onto the Discord server, which has been kind of underused at this point.
Good to see YA.
Good to see you too.
A Brennifer. This was fun. I love the design streams.
Me too. It's a fun time, and it's nice to shift things over. Like the pace is just very different on the design streams versus playing a video game and trying to make sense of it. But next time I stream is going to be on Tuesday, and we're going to be playing a brand new story game because we finished up Death's Door last time.
It amazes me at what you do.
Oh, thank you. So we'll be playing something brand new. I've got some ideas, but I'm not going to give anything away just yet. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to stream the Wizard with a Gun demo because it's just the best title of a game ever. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So some things to look forward to. And who knows, maybe between now and Tuesday, I'll get stir crazy because I don't have work for the next couple of months, and I'll decide to stream more often. But I will see y'all around.
ICKY24. LOL, the title has drawing power.
Yeah, Wizard with a Gun is amazing. Okay. Good night, everybody.
ICKY24. GNGN. A Brennifer. Looking forward to Tuesday. Have a good night, everyone. Gigantier 56. Good night, hope all goes well for everyone.